All right, so y'all have been coming at me in the comments wondering how on earth could you acknowledge Solo Sikoa and then go right ahead the next day and acknowledge Roman Reigns? And I guess that you just haven't seen some of my other videos transpire through that entire process, so let me break it down for you very quickly before we get started. My thought process was that when Roman Reigns was the tribal chief, in order for Roman Reigns to keep his title and remain the tribal chief, he needed to have his tribe. Solely Solo Sikoa, his enforcer. Solo Sikoa was his ride or die. Anytime that Roman found himself in hot water, the person that was always there and showed up to get him out of it was Solo. And in Roman's absence, it was said that Solo would take over, albeit probably temporarily. So in my mind, Solo absolutely deserved to be the tribal chief given all of the time and effort he had put in helping Roman in the way that he had. Now, did he start to get power hungry? Clearly, yes. Did I like his methods? No. Did I like that he and the new Bloodline put Paul Heyman through an announce table? No. But I'm just a girl, and I'm just a blonde girl. And I clearly don't know wrestling as well as you. So yeah, I got tripped up. Now, if you didn't know, I actually did acknowledge Roman prior to acknowledging Solo, and it was solely because of the way that it made me feel. I was at C2E2. They started playing his entrance music when I was in the main arena. They started playing his entrance music when I was in the main area, and I could not help but throw my one up in the air. I'm gonna use the annoying word aura, but it's just a feeling. It's just a, oh wow, he is the OTC, he is that bitch. And so I did it. Now, when he arrived at SummerSlam, I had that feeling again, and I was excited, and I realized, no, I feel like he really does need to have a chance to take back over and claim what's his. But it was conflicting because I had said the entire time that Roman Reigns was the tribal chief was that he didn't deserve to be champion, solely because Solo, rhyming, was the one that kept him with the title on. Now, I may have said that when it came to Roman Reigns having the title, but as far as him being the tribal chief, no, maybe he really does deserve to be the tribal chief. Maybe he deserves that other chance to redeem himself and earn things on his own. So with that being said, let's talk about the segment that happened on Friday Night Smackdown, August 16th, because there was a lot of speculation going into it about what exactly would happen. Were we going to get an actual altercation where Roman speaks? Because he hasn't yet. Were we going to have Jimmy show back up and help either Roman or Solo? I was a little confused and didn't quite understand the whole, like, if you put the Ula Fala on, you know, automatically you're the tribal chief. If he can take this from me, you know, you're the tribal chief. Solo had even said to Tama Tonga, if Roman is able to take the Ula Fala from me and put it on, he is your tribal chief and you will have to acknowledge him, which seemed like a pretty honorable thing, but there was the if. My main takeaway from it all is that when Roman Reigns is coming down the ramp, he's by himself for one, which he has been the last few times, and he gave very much big dog energy. The other thing that I feel like is super interesting is that every time that Roman needed to defeat someone before, he needed his tribe. He needed Solo. He needed everyone around him in order to come out on top. But what we saw in his altercation with Solo and Tama Tonga was that he was actually able to take out Solo and Tama Tonga, have the Ula Fala in his grasps, and put it on. And the only person that was able to come out and stop that from being the end all is Jacob freaking Fatu. I had wondered if Jimmy was going to come out and either help Solo or help Roman. I wasn't totally sure, but for it to be Jacob, very telling. I had said that I feel like Jacob is the new Solo in that Jacob is the ride or die. He takes it very seriously. He is the enforcer. And so had it not been for Jacob, Roman Reigns would be the tribal chief right now. And that is just very poetic, given that the same is true when it comes to Roman Reigns being champion. If it wasn't for Solo, that wouldn't have been the case for as long as it was. If you're new to me, or if you're not, you know that I won't sit here and speculate forever about, you know, who's going to do what or what could happen, because I truly don't know. My thought process right off the bat is that Jacob is going to remain loyal to Solo, and that's just going to be the case for a long time. I don't see him turning on Solo anytime soon. But as far as the dynamics of who's going to side with who as people return, where will Jimmy go? Who will Jay side with? Where does The Rock fall into play in all of this? As they introduce new Tongans or Samoans, where will each of them go and why? I don't really know. But the question now stands of where do we go from here? We had Roman laid out in the middle of the ring by this new dominant bloodline. He was put put through an announce table by them, just like Cody Rhodes, just like Randy Orton. So are we going to have an Avengers style intervention where maybe it's not just other members of the Bloodline that come and intervene? Are we going to have an intervention where other members of the SmackDown WWE roster come to help Roman Reigns reclaim his title as tribal chief? When do we get a Paul Heyman return? Those are things that I will ponder and I'm not sure about, but I am loving the continuity of the Bloodline story, where it is headed, and that it just is constantly changing, and even better, that you can't always predict what's gonna happen. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about it. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think that Solo Sikoa is really truly the tribal chief? Do you think that Roman Reigns is? Do you think that Roman Reigns is a changed man? Who really is going to come out on top of all of this? I would love to know your thoughts.